Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is YAHMAD. So if you check out the previous video I've completed in this JavaScript series, we looked at switch statements for the first time. And we've also been looking at functions as well in recent videos and using buttons to call upon these particular functions. So what I'm going to do now is just to recap what we did in the last video, and then I'm going to be adding some functions and some buttons to update this program. So let's see what we have so far. If I go to my browser, we have two prompts. So we're going to be entering a year group. So let's enter 7. And we're going to enter a house. So we get this alert, you are in year 7. Okay, and then we get this information here being printed. Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to have some buttons. And when I click on those particular buttons, then we'll have some information being revealed, and I also want to clear that information as well. So what I'm going to do first of all is come up to here at the top, and I'm going to add 3 buttons, one for the 2 functions I have already, and then one for the function to clear the IDs. So as you can see here, we are populating some content into these IDs output based on the input of the year group and also the house as well, which is pretty much the same thing. So output 2 is going to be populated based on which house they are in. Right, let's go ahead and add some buttons. Okay, so we're not doing this in the script part, we're doing this in the body section here. Okay, so let's go ahead and make this. Okay, so let's type in here button, close the bracket. Okay, and the first button is going to reveal head of year. Okay, let me put that in capital letters. The second button, if we copy and paste this, it's going to reveal the house master. I'm just going to put house master. You can call it anything you want. And the third button, what this button will do is going to call upon a function to clear the IDs. So it's going to clear what's been outputted. So let's just click on clear. Okay. So the first 2 buttons, what we can do is we can link them to these. Well, we haven't got the functions yet, so let's make the functions first of all. So the first function, we can call it year. So if I type in here function and year, okay, let's open and close the brackets, and let's open the curly brackets. So inside of this function, what I'm going to do is cut this out here, and if I press enter, just paste this switch statement. Okay. That should work. So that's the bracket to close the function. Yeah, I need to keep that other bracket as well. So we got 2 brackets here opening up, and then we got 2 brackets here closing up. Right, so this function here is going to be called when we now enter the first button to reveal the head of year. So what we need to do is right on click. Okay, and then we just copy the name of this function, including the brackets. Okay, so when we click the year function, we're going to run this, and depending on what we've entered here will depend on which output we get. So will the head of year be Mr. Ahmed, Mr. Jones, Mr. Smith, and that will be displayed here. Let me see if that's working first of all before we move forward. So we can enter the head of year, also the year group. Let's put North for now. Okay, we've got the house master from before, but if I click on reveal head of year, it's now running a function. So you're on year 7, and you can see your head of year is Mr. Ahmed. Right, we're going to do the same thing for the house master. I don't want the house master to appear straight away. We want to make it appear when we click on the button. Okay, so let's put now this function, or this switch statement inside of the function. What have we done there? Oops. So guys, just give us 1 minute. There we go. Right, so I'm going to create another function here inside of the script. We can call this house. Okay, and then what we can do is we can open and close the brackets and open and close the curly brackets as well. And then all of this is going to go into that function here. So get rid of that space. Don't need that space. Cut. Just paste it in. So we've got the 2 brackets here, and then we should have 2 at the end. Yeah. Okay, so now what I need to do is come back to my button, click inside of here, on click, on. It's always best to click these options here. On click, and then house, open and close the brackets. And let's see if that's working. So if I type in North, who's going to be the house master? North. It's going to be Miss Black. So let's preview this and see if it's working. So we enter year 7 because I want to be the house master, Mr. Ahmed. We want to type in North because we want Miss Black. So that information is not being revealed yet until we click on these buttons. So we're now running that function. You're in year 7, and we have that output. Okay. Then also for the house master, that's not working. Let's just check why it's not working. Let me change the name of this function. Give it another name because we're using it for the variable. Okay, so house underscore fun for function. Let's see if that was the problem. So on click, we want to run this function. Just press save. So 7, North. Let's get that. Yeah, it's working. Given year 7. Okay, so we got the details up again. So let me just refresh that. 7, North again. Okay, the final thing I want to do in this video now is when I press this button, I want to clear the input. So obviously, using the functions, we are populating some content into these IDs and we want to clear it. So if we come back to here, I'm now going to add another function at the bottom, okay, to clear the IDs. Okay, so we just come to the bottom here, type in here function, and then clear. Obviously, we can give it any name we want. IDs, okay, that will do. Open and close the brackets, and then the curly brackets as well. And then we just want to use document dot get element by ID. The first ID that we want to clear is going to be output and then output 2. Open the brackets, output. I'm going to use inner HTML. And then equals, just speech mark like this. And we can also do the same thing for output 2, just copy and paste. Okay, let's take the name of this function up here. So for this button, a clear button, again, if I type in on click, copy and paste in the name of the function. So that should now clear what should be stored in those IDs. Let's go to the browser, have a quick look. So we got year 7 again, North. So reveal ahead of year 7, house master, clear. Okay, fantastic, that's working. So let me just do a quick recap just before we end this video. So what we have here is an extension of what we did in the previous video. So this was the previous video. There was no buttons, no functions. So we now added some buttons. And on the event that we click the button, we're going to run a particular function. So if you click on a year reveal head of year button, okay, we're going to run this function here for the year. It's going to take this variable, it's going to compare it to these different scenarios and output the relevant information. The clear button basically will then clear the IDs. So you can see we're using inner HTML to add some content to either output or output to. But if you were to click on the clear IDs button, it will run this function here, which will clear the IDs. It's basically two speech marks. There's nothing inside. Right, guys, I hope that makes sense. So please join me in the next JavaScript tutorial. We're going to be continuing looking at functions in JavaScript. I hope this helps, and please drop your comments below, like and share, subscribe. And again, as I said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye. Thank you.